Well, I think what we've seen with the Latin American market is kind of considerable growth in recent years. It's clear there's two main factors behind this. Firstly, the increase in crop prices, which is actually putting more wealth into the farmers' pockets and allowing a greater purchasing power for agrochemicals. And secondly, really, is domestic demand. Clearly, we have a very rapid growth in the general economic position. You have a greater number of people with an increased wealth, which are now capable of purchasing more food, and they want different quality food and different types of food. And all of this is putting demands on agriculture, which is actually leading to an increase in investment and, again, benefiting the farm economy and the purchasing power for agrochemical products. Against that, you have an agricultural system which is pretty well developed and with a high degree of output destined for export markets as well. And so not only are they benefiting from the economic growth in their own market, they're benefiting from increase in export sales, not only to the major developed markets of the world, but also to other developing markets as well, notably kind of China, which is in a deficit situation and is increasingly importing more and more food products, and particularly kind of soybeans and maize at the present moment in time. And we're seeing that the increased investment in agriculture is not only benefiting the crop protection side, but also the seed market, which is a bit more kind of diverse in a way. But we do see a lot of variation from year to year, and a key factor in the Brazilian market in particular is their exchange rate to the US dollar, because this affects the profitability of their exports when the farmers are actually paid, when the dollars which they're selling at are converted to reals. Clearly, when the exchange rate is strong, they're not making as much money, and this has an impact on the performance of the farm economy from one year to the next. Well, I think that there's an interesting kind of phenomenon in China. I mean, and when it was there, that one of the headlines in the newspaper was the government announcing that they saw increasing in crop yields as a key factor in controlling inflation within the country. And this is, clearly if yields go up, then the demand for imported crops will hopefully decline. I think, it's possibly a situation which is unlikely because the demand side is increasing so rapidly that really it's hard to see in any kind of rapid way that they're going to make a dent in that trend kind of significantly. But it does show an environment in which the governments are likely to invest more significantly in agriculture. Against this, you are getting into an environment where greater regulation of the industry is being sought. I think the wish of the Chinese government is to actually reduce the dependence of the agrochemical industry on government support and want this industry to stand on its own 2 feet, as well as having environmental regulations being brought into effect and really regulating the industry and having a more sustainable industry kind of in the long term as well. What is also evident is the cost base of manufacture in China is going up, which is putting pressure on the kind of local companies, particularly in what are very competitive market sectors, particularly with glyphosate. And as that market sector becomes more competitive on a global basis, you're at a situation where less is being exported and leading to an oversupply in the domestic market and lower pricing.